All right, we're starting Siman Samach Zayin, haGuela, and this is a different subject, new subject. This is the subject of the Birkas Haminim. You know, there's a bracha in Shemon Esrei about minim, and it says, "V'chol haminim kerega yoivedu." All the heretics should perish in an instant. So the question is, well, let's read the question inside. V'ro isi b'sefer meirav echad. I saw in a sefer written by a Rav. He says a Rav, he doesn't say which Rav. Shebi Amenu, you know, a current day, contemporary Rav. Shehiksha. And he asks a kasha. Mimadi Amrinim beGemara Brachas, Daf Yulam Aleph. Hani bir yoini dahavu b'shavu seder Meir. The Gemara tells a story that there were some tough guys in Meir's neighborhood. Biryonim. Well, it doesn't mean the Biryonim from the Beis Hamikdash times. And Meir was a long time after that. But it means they were bullies, or they were, low down people. And it says they were bothering Rameir. Havakom Tzaru Leituva. They were bothering Rameir very much. So Havakaboy Rameir Rachmei Alaihu Kihechi Dele Musu. Rameir davened that they should die. So Amrale Bruria Devesu. Bruria, the wife of Rameir, who was a big scholar, said to him, "My daitach." She said, "Why are you doing this?" Mishum dichsiv yitamu chatoim. It says in Tehillim, yitamu chatoim mino arts. That's in the end of Barchi Nafshi. On Rosh Chodesh. So it says, yitamu, the sinners shall disappear from the earth. So you're davening, they should die, so the sinners should disappear from the earth. So, miksiv chaitim. She said, does it say sinners? Chaitim? Chatoim ksiv, sins. So it means the sins will disappear, but the sinners will still be alive. Elaboy rachmei alayu dilahadru b'tshuva. Rather, you should daven for them that they should do tshuva. Rishoyim oid einam. They won't be rishoyim anymore, because it says yitamu chatoim. The sins will disappear from the world. Rishoyim oid einam. They will not be rishoyim anymore. They'll be tzaddikim now. So ba rachmei el ilavayu v'hadru b'tshuva. So Rameir taka davened. He listened to his wife, he davened for them that they should do tshuva, and they did tshuva. Ad kan b'gemara. That's the story in the Gemara. Okay, so v'im kain, so frekt, this Rav who wrote this sefer, v'im kain l'chayra lama tiknu Chazal loimer birkas haminim. Why did Chazal make this bracha of birkas haminim and say v'chol haminim kerega yovedu? All the minim, all the heretics should disappear, should be killed, die, right? Why do they say that? Why don't they say all the minim should do tshuva? Why isn't that the bracha we say? Ad kan kushyasai. That's the kasha this Rav asks. So I don't know. He doesn't say what this Rav answers. He's obviously, whatever the Satmar Rebbe answers, obviously that Rav didn't answer. So what did he answer? I don't know. Maybe he said taich like bruria, like, in other words, all the sins should disappear, and then they won't be rishaim anymore. So it says minim kerega yovedu. They won't be minim. They themselves will do tshuva and become tzaddikim. Who knows? Anyway, the point is the Rebbe doesn't want to say that. He says like this: Onam kush yasoi meikar lesa. This kasha is not a kasha to begin with. The hasam mairi mi bir yoini, because that story in the Gemara Brachas is talking about biryonim. So what's biryonim mean? V'Rashi pirish biryone pritzim. It means like wild people that just don't have any morals, and they just bother people and hurt people, but they're not heretics. That's the point. The point is that they're just kind of low down wild people, bums, whatever you want to call them. So he says, "Uva Sanhedrin daf lamed zayin pirish Rashi biryone pritzim loshen burim." There Rashi says that a biryone means like people who are ignorant. Uva aruch pirish listim. The aruch explains it means thieves. But either way, v'loy mayri miminim. It's not talking about heretics. V'yasi shapir. So now we understand the teretz of the kasha. The Amra, because Bruria said, Levakish rachmim alayhu de lahadra b'tshuva. That she said they should do tshuva. Right? Minim, we don't daven they should do tshuva. We daven they should die. But these people, not minim. They're just bums or thieves. That we daven they should do tshuva. Uve emes hiksha marsha zal. He says the marsha really asks the kasha on the Gemara in Brachos. The mai mahani bakashas rachmim bozeh. What does it help for us to daven that these people should do tshuva? Ha'amrinan hakol b'dei shamayim chutz miyir shamayim. We know there's free will, and people are able to choose to be a yir shamayim. Hashem is not going to force them to be good, to be a yir shamayim. So what's pshat? The Remeir davened. How could Remeir? How's it shaykh to daven for somebody that they should do tshuva? Hashem can't make a person do tshuva. Hashem could do anything, but if Hashem makes him do tshuva, he's not really doing tshuva. That's not called his own free will. It's called Hashem forced him to do it. It's like a robot, right? So if you're davening for someone to do tshuva, obviously you're davening that they themselves, from inwards, from their own free will, should do tshuva. How is it shaykh to daven for that? That's the Marsha's kasha. And then he says, the Marsha says, we ourselves daven that we should do tshuva. How does that work? He says, Hasam, there I understand. He says, Hasam shiny, kivin shekoilas atzmoimahim, because he's including himself together with everybody else. Hachzirein nu, make us do tshuva. And then we have a cloud that where the direction the person wants to go, Hashem will help him go. Someone who wants to purify himself, Hashem will help him. So all he's doing is he's saying, I already want to do tshuva, I just have trouble. Let's say I have some reason that I can't do tshuva, I have something preventing me. Someone in my family is preventing me, or something in my job is preventing me, I can't find a job that's Shomer Shabbos, I don't know, whatever it is. So Hashem will help him overcome that obstacle. But he's not actually davening that tshuva should come from within. He already has that rotzen. Hashem just needs to help him. But if you're davening for someone else, then how does that work? It's the Marsha's kasha. V'loi tirat klum, the Marsha doesn't answer. Marsha doesn't answer. But the Mefarshim, the commentators on the Ein Yaakov, do answer the question. Zal, the Amrina b'Gemara, they say, Sham dahani biryani havu kometzaru leiler Remeir tuva, that these tough guys were bothering Remeir, they were hurting Remeir. V'alzeh kivna bruria she's pal al rachmei shamayim shelo yoreu loy. That all bruria was saying was that he should daven that they shouldn't succeed in harming him. Avada, they themselves doing tshuva, that Hashem is not going to force them to do. But he's just asking, please protect me from them, that they shouldn't harm me. They won't be able to harm me. And once they realize they can't harm Remeir, then they'll be inspired to do tshuva. So basically the teretz is on along these lines, that Hashem is not actually going to force people to do tshuva, but He'll make it easier for them, right? He'll guide them in that way. And really, that's in general, that could be the teretz. You don't have to say it only on the case of Briyonim. Any time you daven, if you have a friend who's not shomer Torah mitzvahs, you want to daven that you should do tshuva, right? So what's the tefillah? The tefillah is, please Hashem, make it easier for him. Bring him to some opportunity where he could, learn Torah, understand. That's what you're davening for. You're not davening for his free will. He has free will. Hashem will never force him, but he can lead him. That's the point. Okay? So basically, what does this have to do with us? Because this is not minim. Right? That's the point. The point of the Rebbe's whole paragraph here is that this thing in Brach is not talking about minim. Minim, these terutzim won't help. Why? Why won't they help? You could say also by minim, Hashem will guide them to a source of emunah, and they'll learn emunah from somewhere, right? So why can't you say the same teretz that he says on the Marsha's kasha over there? In the Chanami, you could, but maybe we just don't daven for that. Let's see the hemshech. That's only by regular wicked people. But meaning people who don't believe, people have heresy. Hari Amru Chazal, Amru Razal b'Maseches Avodah Zarah daf Chavav and Beis Haminim v'Hamumrim Moridim v'Lo Malin. It says the heretics and apostates, we lower them into a pit and we don't bring them out of the pit. So basically, it's saying we kill them. It's allowed to kill a heretic. Uvizman abai, and we don't save them from danger. Gemara Avodah Zarah Chavav and Beis. So uvizman abayis hayamuter laabdan ulahargan biyadayim. In the time of the Beis Hamikdash, it was allowed to kill them openly, by actually physically kill them.
I think Pesachim says even on Yom Kippur.
Yeah. Amor. That's different. It's not really. That's not what we're talking about here. Anyway, v'loy chashashu dilma mihader b'tshuva, and we're not afraid. We don't say, why don't we, spare their lives because maybe they'll do tshuva. The dilma nafik minei zara malia, or maybe even if they don't do tshuva, maybe their kids will end up being good. But we don't say that. We kill them. So therefore, v'kol shekain shemuter lekalalam. Now notice he said v'zman abayis hayim muter. It was only muter in the time of the Beis Hamikdash. We don't do this today. Nobody should think, who's listening to this tape should think that, we go killing people today. No, nobody kills anybody today. But he's saying, since in theory this halacha used to apply in the time of the Beis Hamikdash, therefore it's kol shekain that you're allowed to curse them. But the question is why? What's the difference between minim and regular Rishayim? We still didn't explain that. He says in Mavur Kain Mimash Kasva Toisvis Brachas Daf Zayin Amid Aleph. So now we get to another Gemara. Hahud Stuki. Let's read it first, and then we'll just talk about the Gemaras. Hahud Stuki Dahava B'Shivavusei D'Reb Yeshua ben Levi. There was once that Stuki, a heretic, who was in the neighborhood of Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi, Hava Kometzar Le Tuva, and he was bothering him a lot, bothering Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. So Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi decided he's going to curse him. And the Gemara says over there's one moment in the day that Hashem has anger, and if you Bilam, just like Bilam knew how to know when that moment was and curse, so anybody who knows when that moment comes can pronounce a curse on somebody and it will work. How do you know when the moment comes? So there's a klal, when the sun rises and the crown of the rooster changes colors, that's when that moment comes. So it says Yom Echad. So Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi decided he's going to do that. So he took this rooster. It says Yom Echad Shakal Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi haGuela. He took a rooster. The Ayin Ba, and he was watching it to see when the crown would change colors. Savar Kimata Hahu Shaita Alatie. He said when that comes the time that Hashem is angry, I'm going to curse the heretic. Kimata Hahi Shaita Naim. But when that time came, Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi fell asleep. He missed the chance. So Omar Shma Mina Lavoyach Ara Lemebad Hachi. He said, from this I see it's a message from Hashem that I shouldn't be doing this. It's not derech eretz to go around cursing people. V'rachamav al kol ma'asov ksiv. It says Hashem has mercy on all His creations, so He doesn't want me to kill this heretic. Okay. So we have a little problem here, right? Good, the Rebbe took care of the Gemara in Brachos. The Gemara in Brachos is not talking about a heretic. It's talking about stam bums or thieves. But here, we have a very, very clear Gemara. This guy was a heretic, right? With Stuki. And still, the Gemara says, Racham Avol Kol Ma'asav, you're not supposed to kill him by cursing. So how do we make the Birkas Aminim? Back to square one now. How do you say V'chol Haminim Keregi Yevedu? So he says like this. Tosfos already asked the question, sort of, in a way. He says, "V'hikshu at Tosfos afa gav dat stukim moridim v'loy malin." Tosfos says that stukim are heretics, and the law is that you're allowed to kill them, and you don't save them. V'tirtzu, Tosfos answers, "Tahainu bidei adam," that you're only allowed to kill them physically. Aval bidei shamayim la'avoy rechara. The problem is, if you ask Hashem to do it, that's not derech eretz. Lahanisham, to punish them, ulahatridam, and to cause them to, lose their life, ulahargam bidei shemaim, to kill them by the hands of heaven. That you don't do. Very interesting. So the kal v'chomer falls away now, right? The Rebbe said before it's a kal v'chomer. He said if you're allowed to kill them by hand, so kol shekain you're allowed to curse them, But here Tosfos is saying not like the Rebbe. He's saying that you're allowed to kill them, but you're not allowed to curse them. And why should that be, by the way? Why should it be allowed to kill someone physically, but not curse? What should be pshat in that? Well, it doesn't make any sense. If you're allowed to kill them, then how could you not be allowed to daven that Hashem should kill them? So let's go on. So he says, "V'kavanas divrayim." He says, to understand this Tosfos, mevura yoister b'Tosfos avodah zarah. You have to look up in the different Tosfos. That one was Tosfos in brachas, daf zayin. Now we're going to look at a different Tosfos avodah zarah, daf daled, on the base. Shetirtzu ahach kusha. They have the same question over there because the same story comes up over there in avodah zarah. And Tosfos answers, "The vadai bikesh lahargoi b'klul asoi." That what happened? Rabbi Shua ben Levi, what was he trying to curse him? That he should just lose his money? That he should move? That he should, like what should happen to him? Get sick? The answer is no. He was cursing him that he should die. V'zeh haya mutter, demoiri demoisam. That it was really mutter to do what he did. It's not pshat that Rabbi Shua ben Levi did something wrong. It was mutter to do it. It still is not derech eretz. There's a difference between what's mutter and what's derech eretz. He shouldn't have forced the hand of Hashem. If Hashem's not punishing him, you don't mix into Hashem's business. Basically, Hashem has a cheshbon when He's going to punish this min. You don't mix in and tell him right now, 9 o'clock in the morning, whatever. I want you to kill him. That's the problem. You can't. In other words, it's not usher what he did. You could even kill him if you wanted to. It's not usher. It's just that it's not derech eretz to go and tell Hashem. Hashem is the king of the universe. You're not going to tell him what to do. Ad kan l'shoinai. Mevur midivrei. We see from Tosfos the l'kala loisam b'stam less dein based mechush. He says to curse them stam is not a problem. In other words, the bracha, he's answering the kasha like this. The birkas haminim, we say, v'chol haminim kerega yovedu. All the minim should perish. When? We didn't tell Hashem when. We didn't say anything exactly how to do it. We just said, the minim should have a downfall. Right? We're not saying, we're not giving ideas, we're not dictating to Hashem what he should do. That's not a problem. Miklal, there's them miklal moridim, because that's included in the idea of killing them. The whole problem with Rabbi Shua ben Levi was that he was trying to tell Hashem exactly at this moment, Shakadosh Baruch Hu kois, at the moment that he's angry, and force the hand of heaven, of ibudam, and to force him, the Tzuki, to die. That's not respectful. Okay? So now we've answered up the question. That's why we daven for the heretics to die. It is taka kol shekain. So and even though Tosfos says not, Tosfos is only talking about a special case. Okay? Now I just want to say there's another way I thought of to answer this kasha. Again, the kasha is from Birkas Haminim to the story of Rabbi Shua ben Levi. Why do we make Birkas Haminim? And why, by Rabbi Shua ben Levi, why wasn't he supposed to daven for this heretic to die? Right?
Rabbi, your Lord told me
that again, the kasha is, why was it mutter to daven for heretics? Why do we have this bracha b'chol haminim kereg yovedu if it says Rabbi Shua ben Levi wasn't supposed to kill the Tzduki with his tefillah? Or with his klala. So, dachtzich, I think we could answer the question like this. It depends what the heretic is doing. That's the problem. What was this heretic doing to Rabbi Shua ben Levi? What was he doing? So if you look up the Gemara, look it up the Gemara in Brachas Zayin and Aleph, it says, Hahu mina, first of all, the girs is not Tzduki, it's min. Okay, same idea. The Hava b'shivusei de Rabbi Shua ben Levi, he was in the neighborhood of Rabbi Shua ben Levi, Hava kometzayer le tuva. By the way, I think min makes more sense because the Tzdukim were in the time of the Beis HaMikdash. Rabbi Shua ben Levi was more like 200 years after the Beis HaMikdash. So probably it wasn't a Tzduki, probably it was a min. Min is, according to Rabbi Yaakov Emden, min means a Christian. Usually. Anyway, so this guy was asking him questions from Psukim. Oh, that's what I was about to read. he was asking questions from the psukim. He said, the pasuk is mashma like what we say, right? I'll bring you a proof from the pasuk to oisei oish. So therefore, Yoim Echad Shakal Tarn Goyal, he took a chicken and did the whole thing. So what I'm trying to say is this heretic wasn't dangerous. He was just a nuisance. So there's a Maisa that I bring in my sefer, Read and Remember. I brought it along today, about Reb Chaim. In the time of around 1905, there was a story. No, this is from 15 years ago. I made this. So it has stories, halacha stories on Shas. So the Maisa was that there were a lot of Jews going off the derech in the time of the time. A lot of people were becoming Bundists and communists and Zionists. It was a difficult generation. So the story was, you get the page now. Yeah, it's page 639 in the book, and I got this story from Sefer Parach Mate Aaron, which is by Rebbe Solovechik. So he says the story was there was this young man in Brisk who was a Bundist and an atheist and a deliberate violator of the Torah. Every Shabbos morning when Reb Chaim came out of his house to go to shul, this boy would make a point of walking by the house smoking a cigarette. So basically he was Matzayir Reb Chaim. Same idea as Rabbi Shua ben Levi, right? He was Matzayir him. So a few days before Rosh Hashanah, when he was with his fellow soldiers from the Russian army, he fired his gun at a picture of the Tsar, Nikolai. This kid, because he was a Bundist. So he was in the Tsar's army, but he was angry at they wanted to make a revolution then. Yeah. He was a communist. So he shot the picture of the Tsar. So the other soldiers told the mayor of Brisk, and the boy was condemned to death. He was to be shot on the day before Sukkot. Okay, so a Jew who was friendly with the mayor revealed to Reb Chaim that the mayor was willing to accept a bribe of 5,000 rubles to let the boy go free, provided that he leave Brisk. As soon as Reb Chaim heard this, he called a meeting of the community board members in his house. At the meeting, he told them that according to halacha, they must take all money out from the community's funds and even pay from their pockets if necessary in order to save this boy.
Are you serious?
So not only Reb Chaim wasn't out to kill him, he was out to save him. So this ruling caused an uproar in the shul. Everyone else, from both the religious and from the Zionist camp, said no. On the contrary, it's a great mitzvah to allow this young Bundist to be shot. As the Torah says, "Uviyarto hara mikirbecha," wipe out the evil from your midst. Reb Chaim said no. That pasuk's only said on a sinner who was condemned to death by the Bezdin in the time of the Beis Hamikdash. So then, one man stood up and said, "This boy is a deliberate violator of the Torah." Doesn't the Gemara say "Moridin v'loy malin"? Doesn't the Gemara say you kill them and you don't take them out of the pit? So what are you saving this guy's life for? So Reb Chaim said, the Shita Mekubetzis in Bava Kama 119a says that the halacha that we lower them into the pit is only when great sages have carefully considered all sides of the question and decided that the person is a danger to the Jewish people. Okay? And he says, and so it seems from the Rambam in his commentary to the Mishnah in Chulin, page 18, which is on Perek Aleph Mishnah Beis, and I have it here in the bottom. He says, the Rambam says, V'dash mesoris biyadeinu miraboseinu, v'kabbalas dvorim rabim mirabim. We said we have a tradition from our fathers, shezmanenu zeh zman hagolus, that nowadays she'ein boi dinei nefashos, that we don't have a bezdin that could punish people with the death penalty. El b'Yisrael she'avar aveira misa. He says we don't have dinei nefashos, but he says ein zeh ela b'Yisrael she'avar averas misa. Only by an aveir that's chayav misa, like Shabbos or something like that. Aval haminim v'atzdukim v'abaytusim kefi roiv ro'oseim oinshim oisam. That the tzdukim and the minim and these heretics, we do kill them today. Shelo yafsidu es Yisrael, and here's the key words. He says, so they should not ruin the Jewish people. Via abdu hu emunah, and destroy the emunah. So this is what Reb Chaim was medayik, that it's only when the heretic is going to ruin people. He poses a threat to other people. So
but he is.
This Bundist, Oh, so Reb Chaim said like this: you think there's only one Bundist in the world? There's thousands of people like him.
Yeah, but not only is he causing people to sin, he's causing danger by shooting the czar. He's causing
Yeah, okay, but that's not heresy. In other words, he's not convincing Jews to be a heretic.
He is a heretic.
He is, but he's not by shooting the czar. He's not.
Well, obviously by smoking, he's causing people to sin. He's saying you're allowed to do it. Obviously, he's going to be bad. Like the Rashab kicked him out of.
Okay, but the point of the smoking and the point of all that stuff is that he was privately a Rasha, but he wasn't convincing anybody. Reb Chaim held like this: there's enough people like him in the world that killing him wouldn't make a difference. That's his point. He's saying if this guy dies, there's still going to be thousands of others like him. So it's not going to make a difference in terms of a risk to Klal Yisrael and convincing people to be Mechal Shabbos or something.
But he's also causing physically because cause pogroms for.
So the thing about the Tsar and the revolution, that Reb Chaim held nothing to do with this halacha. You understand? That's a separate thing.
But he's right, Dave.
He's
causing.
Okay, so you're saying you should kill him because of Roidif?
He's causing people to sin like that.
But the Tsar wasn't out to get all Jews just because this one Jew is a revolutionary, right?
Well, he could cause, and you have progress because of those reasons.
Okay, I don't know. That's a good question.
And also the Chafetz Chaim.
Point is, so the end of the story was, Reb Chaim said, I'm locking the shul. It was the Erev Yom Kippur. So he said, no one's allowed to come to shul on Yom Kippur until we pay this money. So he locked the shul and he said, until you come to me with the 5,000 rubles, I'm not letting you in.
And in another problem, I think.
So they brought it to him, and it says the end of the story was they went into Yom Kippur without eating the Suda Mafsekes because they had no time.
But also another problem.
My point in bringing this story is that Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi was dealing with one heretic here. So with this one heretic, there was no heter to kill him, and there was no heter to daven that he should die.
And also I read that during the Frankist period.
Mashenkin by the Birkas Haminim is about all minim. Chol Haminim Karegi Yavedu. And all minim are posing a threat to Klal Yisrael, so that makes sense.
And what ended up happening to this guy was released? Did he do teshuvah out of gratitude on a b'chai?
That's a good question.
Did he change his?
We don't have that. We don't know.
And I told you this rabbi, I forgot his name. I think it was a Feldheim book which came out. This book? You know that book?
Which book?
This biography of Rabbi Zilberg came out like in 2012 or 13.
That he felt bad that he helped the guys get out.
Yeah, it wasn't Rabbi Zilberg because he was too young then, but he was giving it back as like his rabbi there.
Okay, let's continue now. Umashaloi tiknu chazal lispal aleim dilihadra b'tshuva v'yichyu. So now that we've answered up all the steers, so we have the Gemara in Brachas Staf Yud that says that the Biryonim were supposed to do tshuva. That's because they weren't heretics. Fine. The Gemara, the Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi, the way the Rebbe answered it was that it was not derech eretz to ask Hashem to punish him at this moment. Okay, but in general we say Birkas Haminim. So the question is, why do we stam? He's asking, why do we say Birkas Haminim that they should die? Why not say that they should do tshuva? Why taka not? Why can't Minim do tshuva too? Okay, Hine lefi divrei Maharsha hanal loy mahani bakashas rachim imal zeh klal. Kanal. Maharsha says it doesn't help to daven for someone to do tshuva. All right. Now the Maharsha left it as a kasha, so whatever the teretz on the Maharsha's kasha, that might help on this kasha too. And he says, Amnam afilu im nema the tefillah mayalas alzeh. Even if you say that tefillah does help, aval mikomakim tefillah kazu davar kasha chetitzgabel. If you're going to ask Hashem that they should do tshuva on being a min, that's hard to fulfill that tshuva, that tefillah. Why? Hashem doesn't want to force people to do something. He doesn't want to take away their free will. He's really repeating it. That's the same as the Maharsha's kasha, right? The Maharsha says, how could you daven that someone should do tshuva? What about free will? So whatever the teretz is going to be on that, the teretz is on this too. And then he says, Gam hu rachoi kametzias sheyashuvu aminim tshuva me'ula. It's unlikely that heretics will do real tshuva. Someone who's just a thief makes more sense that he'll give up his bad ways. But someone who actually believes something, that's against the Torah, very unlikely that he'll change. Nimtza derachoik l'schar v'karev lehefsid. That the tefillah is more likely to cause damage than good. Why? The bruria hazeka sheyimshechu achareihem kol zman sheyichyu. That if you're davening, let them do tshuva. It's dangerous. Why? Because if they don't actually do tshuva, what's going to happen? They're going to keep on living, and people will be attracted to their ways. So therefore, it's more of a dangerous thing to ask for that. So therefore, don't ask for that. Therefore, Chazal say, no, daven that they should die. Not that they should go back and do tshuva. Okay, so that's his answer. Basically, to sum it up, heretics, why we daven that they should die? Why aren't they like any other sinners? The answer is because it's unlikely that they should do tshuva. It's unlikely for a person to change his beliefs, and meanwhile he's alive and he's causing damage.